Hello, Urbanites, Bravehearts, and SEQ Nation. Um, I have script. This time I have script. We are going to go through said script, and it's a lot. So I suggest you, I urge you, I welcome you, I invite you to come back when you're ready. It's a video. It ain't going nowhere unless I decide to take it down. But because I am adhering to my challenge of greatness, it's going to be up so that you can have time to get your mind right, get in right space to be able to absorb what it is that I have for you. As the keeper of the keys, I have quite a bit of golden keys to share today. And so I am going to, as everybody knows, I'm into the challenges. And what I'm going to do right at the moment is I'm going to address an element from the last video that I did with regards to the mentors that ache for their children but are not in the same space or in the same house with their children. Because one thing I need you to understand is that evil is clever with misconstruing one's words. When you don't understand a person, you will take their words and run with it and try to discombobulate and assassinate their character. One thing I want everyone to understand, whether you are one of my mentors or not, you can't do that to me. Because fact of the matter is, I'm covered. I'm covered and I'm protected. I am the messenger and I understand what I was brought here to do. And I understand that daddies, especially urban daddies, they get a bad rep. They get a bad rep all the way around the board. And I know this because I've walked in those shoes. Even if, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to try to make it as clear as possible because I want folk to understand. I don't take sides. I don't fight against flesh and blood. I know that evil has the capacity to bounce from one human to the next. I understand that it's all in the makeup of your emotions and your psyche. I understand that the discombobulation from your brain to your heart is where confusion and dissension lies. When your wheels turn inadequately is how all of this, the whole, living hell on earth, the shit storms, that's how they are able to continue with life. Because you breathe belief and energy into such shenanigan. What would be advantageous for us as human beings within this stratosphere of time? What would be beneficial to us is if we had the character, the noble character of understanding that it is divine invention, why I'm being lost for words. It is divine intervention. There we go. I want to make my own words up. It is divine intervention with the strategy of which parent raises the child. Even though we would like to think that in all of our human form that we are the ultimate powerful, that the one who does not raise the child ain't shit. The one who does raise the child is Alpha Omega. And that all the funds that come forth in result to raising the child was only pulled in by the one that the child is with. It takes a village. Okay, understand that. I know that, you want to be able to say your daddy ain't shit, your mama ain't shit. Yeah, you want to be able to say that because it makes one feel good and it offsets the element of rejection. It offsets the elements of failure that the relationship no longer lasts. We want to be worthy of the relationship lasting when we won't even take a step back to understand how we got in it in the first place. Because everybody want hump and they don't want to protect themselves, and then they got offspring going on. Then everybody want to do the pointing the fingers and the blame game. I was one of them. I was one of them who came from such a broken childhood that I thought that by having children, I would miraculously be fixed. It was actually the opposite. I started having children and realized that there was a possibility that they could turn out like me, and I figured, now I have to say I wrongfully figured, but I figured that if I was as far away from them as I could be, that they probably would have a chance of growing with some type of substance outside of me. I did not want to contaminate them. And I thought that because of all the yuck and the muck that lied inside of me, that if I was anywhere close to them, I would contaminate them. There was even a moment in life where I would have visions that I was taken or going to be taken all of our lives. Not only did I want to end my life on earth, I felt that they were better if they were gone too. This world was so yucky. And what makes it so interesting is that just two years ago, I think it was like 2 years ago, I went to go see the poet laureate Dolores Kendrick. She is a fabulous soul. She has been a DC poet for years because she's like, now I think she's in her late 60s, and she's been, her dad back in the day owned one of the DC local newspapers, something like, small like the Washington Informer. So it was a relatively small publication. And so she was around writers all the time, and she was around editors. And so the language, she was in the linguistic era of the black word, of the urban voice, when it was just starting to flourish and gain its momentum. So she was around it for a while. So she began to manipulate words and fell in love with words. And one thing that she said that was so amazing to me, and I just kind of lost my thought, but it was to the point where, okay, so I'm probably going to have to come back to it because just that quick, I lost it. But sitting there listening to her speak, yeah, I completely lost it. So I'm wondering if it was meant for me to say or not. But I'll take you one better, to another poet, to another woman who has reflected on her childhood and her paradigm shifting when it comes to judgment, and how it is that people try to judge things that they cannot see. If you don't know, you should not speak. So Maya Angelou says that her mom was a better parent to her once she became an adult, that she was just not the type of person that had it in her to bond with her when she was younger. That was her grandmother. And one thing that I know for certain is that God will place in your life those who he deemed fit to raise you. See, they want to, and I say they as those who are gifted to raise the children, they don't even realize how lucky they are. They just don't. And I say it all the time, because the word on the street is that I don't love my children because I ain't around. That's bogus. That's bullshit. Come on, I had them. Huh? How is it possible? How is it possible? And what makes it also interesting is that that's the same thing that was told to me because my daddy wasn't around. I am living truth. I am living truth. That my impression of him did not change until I was older and was able to go visit with him myself and have conversations with him myself and understand, because I was able to get the additional elements to the damn story, okay? And that's not to say that anybody's at fault, because people want to tell the story as they see it, rightfully so. But stories are like Rubik's cubes. Some people try to simplify to say stories are his truth, her truth, and the actual truth, or his side, her side, and the actual truth. It's not even three-dimensional. It's Rubik dimensional. It has a dynamic of shades and hues and twists and turns. Just because you saw it that way does not mean that's the way that it actually is. And if you are going to judge someone, know someone. And don't take the word of someone else when you are trying to determine how you feel about someone, especially those that love you. Love is not a switch you can turn on and off. And the reason why hate exists is because folk want to control the element of being able to switch love on and off. You hate something that you love and can't control the fact that it could detrimentally mess with your tender parts. You can't hate something you don't know. You would just not have any feeling for it. You just dismiss it. You would not hate it. You'd have to love it first in order to hate it. You would have to find some type of value in it, understanding that its value may not be to your benefit. So then a defense mechanism comes up. And then that's when, in order to be able to protect, to hate is what keeps all of it boxed in. Yeah, that's what hate is. Because, and what makes it also interesting is that for you not to be able to understand or speak the language of your emotions, then you wouldn't know this. People think hate comes from, people think hate is a standalone. No, it is not. You would have to know it and intimately have some type of something for it. And then realize it has the potential to hurt you. And so in order to defend your tender parts, that's where hate comes in at. You would just simply dismiss it. You would dismiss it. If it was something that you didn't agree with, or you had no feeling or emotion attached to it, you would just dismiss it. Okay. I'm telling you, I am going to try to remember to bring it back to Dolores Kendrick in a little bit. It felt like I had something decent to say. So I ramble. I'm going to ramble. I'm telling you, I'm the messenger. What you going to do with me? I'm rambling. So things I have to say, especially if you're one of my mentors, I can get crunk with it. So here we are. It's time to dance. Let me see here. Where shall I start? Okay, so yes, we're gonna just do the script. We're gonna deal with the script. So, Coach's Morning Espresso. I know in the beginning when I did the little intro recording, I had said that it was going to be once a month on the first Thursday. I don't know if I'm gonna hold to that. I'm not sure. Reason being is because me and talking to why is it escaping me now? Talking to Chief Dixon. So me and him was talking and decided that we are going to co-facilitate. And we figured that that would be a better deal than me taking a group and he taking a group. So we will combine. So things are shifting a little bit. And one thing that I tell my mentors is that you have to make sure that you stay flexible. And folk know I'm a very fluent person. Fluid. I'm a fluid type person. If it makes sense to me, then I'm going with it. I am not set in stone. I know I'm not set in stone. My eyebrows itching. I'm not set in stone. I'll go with it. If as long as it does not, mess around with my character or blemish any of my values, I will try it. I'm with it. We can at least talk about it. So, all of that to say that and because it takes a lot of energy and research to do the coach's morning espresso, I think we're going to just combine it. Or I'm thinking that we're going to combine it. So, that's the deal with that. But check this out. The invitations that I've already sent out, I've sent out an enormous amount of invitations to the mentoring organizations within the greater Washington DC area to join us. The Coach's Morning Espresso is a recorded telephone conversation series. It's a round table, but it was going to be structured more like a radio broadcast. So I didn't want to miss out on all of the traffic that's starting to come in as a result of us sending out those invitations, inviting guest speakers to come and join us, those that are in the mentoring field or those that are in the counseling therapeutic intelligence field. So just know that if you're looking at this and viewing this and then realizing that you got an invitation from me and it's like, okay, well, if they're not going to do it, then what do I do? Still call. Still get in contact with us. If it's on your heart to get in contact with us, we will still have guests during our it's early. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying. I got a lot. I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm saying. But if it's on your heart that you still want to come hang out with us, you are completely welcomed. We definitely want to hear from the mentors in the area. We want to collaborate and unify. That's the whole point. If you know in your heart you are one of the messengers to raise the awareness of the urban people, we definitely want you to come join us. We want our crew to hear what it is that you have to say. Okay, so next thing, number 2, the next thing on the list is we putting out the word. Please keep the word, keep it going. Being a hairstylist of 20 years, I know that there is nothing greater than that grapevine. That word of mouth is something else, man. It can make or break you, and I'm telling you that as the truth. That is the truth. That the good word will flow as well as the bad word will flow. So I am asking that the word get put out that we are looking for a few good men. That is what we're calling it. Of course, we want more than a few, but we are calling the initiative. The initiative is called A Few Good Men. We would like for you to have the mentor's mindset. We would like for you to have it in your heart that what it is that you know is in you so that you could groom, encourage, and inspire others in your area of vocation or craft or expertise or passion or value or principle, whatever it is that you care about, if you know that it has the ability to uplift the urban folk, I'm asking you to please get in touch with us. Okay, so we have, and I just set it up yesterday, there is a link, there is a channel, a tunnel, an avenue on the DC Urban Mentors blog where you can set up and a schedule. You can schedule. You can set up a time to speak with us if you're interested in joining the crew for these particular elements. Okay, so we're looking for mentors who have a knack for color or art therapy. It doesn't really matter if you're youth or young adult or senior or midlife crisis. It really doesn't matter. If you are a mentor who's into color or art therapy, we need to hear from you. Music and dance, whether you are an instructor or you are an advocate, you're an enthusiast, we need to hear from you. If you are a mentor and you're into music or dance, we are looking to transpose it into a therapeutic avenue so that people can link up with music and dance to be able to form their outlets. To all of it is in conjunction with our efforts to emotionally support and to therapeutically soothe. So art and color therapy, music and dance therapy, aromatherapy and meditation, Tai Chi. Now, the reason why I picked Tai Chi, because for one, it is a very, very therapeutic method to de-stress. And I know that quite a bit of urban people not only are they unfamiliar, but the majority of them have never even heard of it. So it's Tai Chi, Taichi. Google it. Sometimes I be wondering about that. When I say Google it, it just seems so cliche. So that I've tried to redirect my words, rearrange my words, and say, well, just get on the internet and search it, pull it up, venture out into the virtual world and click in the word Tai Chi and see what comes up and start your search from there. So that's a key. The key word is Tai Chi. Go, explore, go forth and conquer. Now, my last, which is my favorite, the one that I'm into, is chess. We're no longer playing checkers, okay? We have not been playing checkers for some time now, but a lot of urban folks still have that checker mentality. I am looking for the mentors that are fluent in the game of chess. I, for one, would like for them to begin speaking the language, teaching others the language. I'm going to begin with the foundation. It's one thing to know how to play chess, but it's another thing to be able to interpret it and teach someone else how to play chess. Those are the ones I'm looking for. Those are the mentors who need to call me ASAP. You need to holler at me because I need to talk to you about the game of chess. So, with that said, I have a list. The U.S. Chess Center, which is on 8th Street in Northwest, has connections in every ward of the district, and for the most part it is in schools. I'm going to read off the schools that we would like to hear from, especially if you are a mentor connected to that school that plays chess. So we narrowing it down to a very specific target brand of folk. Okay, so Ward 1 is Cardoza High, Lincoln Middle, and Meyer Elementary. Ward 2 is Francis Junior High. Ward 3 is Starter Elementary and Wilson High. Ward 4 is Powell Elementary and the Raymond Educational Campus. Ward 5 is Langdon Educational Campus and McKinley Tech. Ward 6 is Tyler Elementary, Van Ness Elementary, Walker Jones Elementary. Ward 7 is C Charter and Woodson High. Ward 8 is Terrell Junior High, and there are other locations. It doesn't specifically say what ward they're in, but they are the six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6th District Police Boys and Girls Club, the Tacoma Recreation Center, the Urban League of Washington, D.C., and the Anthony Bowen YMCA. That's the list. I'm thinking that I guess in the next day or so I am going to type up the list and put it on the blog. That way you can definitely see who it is that we have an interest in speaking and connecting and collaborating with, so that this thing can get going. We are looking to start the conversation. We need to start the conversation. Engaging conversation is how it all begins. So just know, and please get the word out. If you know folk who are into chess and they speak the language fluently of chess and they are connected, the bonus would be that they would be connected to those that are on, to those locations that are on that list. That would be great. Okay, so the next thing is we are moving to, I brought up not too long ago that Chief Dixon and I are talking about the co-collaboration, and what we are co-collaborating in the year of 2015 is our Mastermind Mentorship course. It's level 5. It is not for the faint at heart. We are not playing around. You need to be a mentor, and you need to be a mentor that wants to do something. And you need to be a mentor that wants to do something that is looking to be taught how to effectively lead. Breaking it down. One thing that I learned when I was becoming certified as a coach, especially coaching groups, affinity groups, is that you don't just let anybody in. I was reading, and I can't remember exactly, because I get I'm on a lot of distribution lists for other coaches. So there was a coach, and as a matter of fact, I want to say her name because it was so elaborate. Hold on, let me see, which one was she? Okay, so I'm going to continue to look for her name too, but was it? Yeah, Nancy Jutton. Nancy Jutton sent me an email on Saturday, November 29th, and she told me was it her? I'm sorry. I might have misspoke. Hold on. It wasn't her. It was... So we'll get back to Nancy Jutton in a minute. Oh, come on, Thea. Very impossible. Yes. Okay, here it is. It wasn't Nancy Jutton. It was Mary Ellen Tribby. Mary Ellen Tribby. Tribby. And I have to say that I give thanks to I call him Sir Movie Hood TV. He works for Movie Hood TV. But why does his name escape me like this? Gosh. Come on, man, because I'm so used to giving folk nickname. Paul Barrow. Yes, he is one of the elite over there at Movie Hood TV. And what caught me was his for him to be such a young black dude. He carries a heavy soul. He's intrigued by the things that really, really, truly matter, and he's into marketing. And that was one of the things that really got me, because he is such a young dude with the focus of a sage. So we're friends on Facebook. and he sent out something that was from Mary Ellen, and so I went to go check it out. I like to, especially my urbanites who are not officially affiliated with my mentoring crew. I like to watch what they're doing. That's just kind of how I do. So he put me on to her. I want to say, Sir Movie Hood, thank you very, very much for put me on to Mary Ellen, because she is incredible. What she sends out, she has a lot of wealth in her conceptualizing. She does really good with that. So check this out. On Thursday, actually on Thanksgiving. So on Thanksgiving the 27th at 8 a.m., she sends out an email, and it says, Happy Thanksgiving. It says, last week I attended a mastermind group meeting in Arizona. She says, I paid $25,000 to be part of this group. That blew me. That blew me away, because that means that anybody who pays $25,000 to be part of a mastermind group don't come near to play. They are at the round table, and they are talking substance. They are talking about things that actually matter. They are getting together with the main purpose and objective in mind to seek solution. So, of course, I realize that my mentors will never be able, not never, but at this point, at this starting point, we are at the humble beginnings, and they are not able to pay that kind of money. I don't know if I would ever put that type of, I don't know. I can't say. I have no clue. But what I said that to say that just anybody cannot get in. So instead of putting the $25,000 price tag on it, we're narrowing it down. We are saying that you must be deeply engaged in obtaining the mentor's mindset to lead, meaning that you come in with the intent on soaking up the knowledge that we've gathered, to teach it to others, and their intent to teach it to others. That's the whole point. The point is not to come and sit your ass in our class and soak up all the knowledge to do nothing with. No. And because I am the type of person that I am, and I am really, really in tune to my certification in social and emotional intelligence, I speak the language of emotion. I understand how to weed out shenanigan. I have already made it clear to Chief Dixon that I plan to have a one-on-one conversation with all those that apply. I don't care how big we get, because I want folk to understand that it has taken a long time, blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of time sacrificed away from the momentum of life to gather all of my keys. Since 2009. It will be going on 6 years in February that I have been in very close quarters with my content, arranging it and rearranging it and becoming familiar with it and visiting it and dating it for the most part. I have been in courtship with my content for a while. And it just seems like it would be in vain for me to just allow anybody to scan their eyes through it without the devotion that they are going to embrace it and do something with it. To tell you the truth, I really think that our mastermind mentoring program is worth way more than $25,000. Way more. It's degree based. It's university style. It's very academic. And Ain't nobody playing no games. So when you sign up, there is an enrollment process just like any other university. The good thing about it is you don't have to pay money for it, but you do have to pay time and attention. We know where the wealth lies because we know what it is that we teach you. We know that what it is that you absorb as a result of taking this 90-day course, that you will be able to take it with you when you die. This is not one of those frivolous type of trinkets that will do you no good. No, it's a lifelong learning process. It's yours. Nobody can ever take it away from you. So that starts in January. It is 90 days. It's a 12-week course. So the first 6 weeks, and I think I said this in my last video, the first 6 weeks will be digging real good into Coach Tony Dungy, into his book, The Mentor Leader. We want to grab hold real tightly of the characteristics and the mentality of the noble mentor, the noble leader. And I have to say that if you are a noble leader, you are a mentor. You can't be a noble leader and not have those under you that you care about and you want to infuse them with the things that will make them better characteristically. So if you are a noble leader, you are a mentor. Now, the thing about it is, the difference with ours is that you come with the intention to absorb and deposit. So the week 7 through 10 will be digging in real good with the 3rd edition Elements of Effective Practice for Mentoring. And that is that particular piece of material was crafted by the mentoring.org. They are a really good mentoring organization. And the only thing about it is that they are not structured to the urban life of DC. When I say DC, understand that I am talking about the tri-area. I am talking about DC, Maryland, and Virginia in the greater metro area. So if you are within our grasp, and seeing as that we are doing it through the virtual world, you are welcome. We do have a couple of events that we are going to do in person once a month. We are like, I think I've mentioned it quite a bit of times, the Mentors Mixer. But the only thing about it is it's only, we're not going beyond 15 people. We're keeping it very intimate. So with the notion that we will grow, the mixers and the round tables, I am thinking will continue to stay intimate. I can't have a conversation with a whole bunch of people. Believe it or not, I am what is considered an introvert. So I am an INFJ. I can't do a whole bunch of buzzing going on around me all at the same time. It drains me. I have to have conversations in its intimate value, or I will go bonkers and then I'll turn into the Hulk. A lot of people don't know that about me. I am David Banner. When I am like this, I am David Banner. I have the ability to turn into the Hulk. And to keep that at a simmer, to minimize that, to make sure that all goes smoothly, I keep my conversations intimate. I keep them really small because all of that just, yeah, that drives me crazy. Okay, so all of that to get to why. The power of why. So Simon Sinek, he says that, oh, that's not where I want to be. He says that when you start with why, everything's a lot more robust. Everything is a lot more powerful. Your direction is more on point. It is key. I love that key. I'm telling you, I'm a keeper of the keys. I love it when it says that it's key. So, to start with why, allows you to have more bang for the boom. More boom for the bang. Okay. Also, speaking of which, while I'm trying to pull this up, I have so Simon Sinek did a TED Talk on his latest book with regards to leadership. That also is on the blog. I just put it up yesterday. DC Urban Mentors .blogspot.com. Go up there. As a matter of fact, if you're one of my elite members, I am supposing that you will be visiting the blog at least once a week. And to tell you the truth, if it's only once a week, you slacking. That is something that you should be on it, making sure that whatever is up there, you know that it's up there. And not only do you know that it's up there, those that you mentee, those that you direct them to the blog, because there are different trinkets, there are different keys that are strategically placed on that blog to allow you to venture out and get you some goodness. All right, so the power of why. So he says, when I first discovered this thing called the why, it came at a time in my life when I needed it. It wasn't an academic or intellectual pursuit. I had fallen out of love with my work and found myself in a very dark place. There was nothing wrong with the quality of my work or my job per se. It was the enjoyment I had for that work that I had lost. By all superficial measurements, I should have been happy. By all superficial measurements. See, people got to understand, there is an intellectual measurement, there is a spiritual measurement, there is an emotional measurement, there is a physical measurement, and then there is a superficial measurement. So all that superficial, the bling, the image, the outer limits. The outer limits is the superficial. So by superficial measurements, he had it. He should have been happy. He had long money. He had it to the point where he could go where he wanted to go and buy what he wanted to buy. But he wasn't happy. I made a good living. I worked with great clients. The problem was I didn't feel it. Take it back to the emotional intelligence. Being able to be emotionally intelligent means that you feel what it is that you do. He says the problem was I didn't feel it. I was no longer fulfilled by my work, and I needed to find a way to rekindle my passion. If you sign up for the Mastermind Mentorship Program, it is a passion that you must feel. By me having a conversation with you, I can tell if this is something that you feel. I can tell it. So I'm telling you, don't apply if you're going to bullshit, because I can sense bullshit. I can sense it. Okay, so then he goes on to say, the more organizations and people who learn to also start with why, the more people there will be who wake up feeling fulfilled by the work that they do. And that's about the best reason I can think to continue sharing this idea. I agree. I approve this message, which is one of the reasons why I'm using my time and my platform to share with you. So I will be the contributor of the grapevine with regards to the momentum of this message, because I believe that we should all start with why. Why are you doing this? Why are you here? Why are you the way that you are? Ask yourself why. Why am I with you? Why am I giving you my time? Why am I giving you my attention? Why am I spending my money on this? Why am I spending my life on this? Why am I spending my thoughts on this? Why? Why am I endorsing this? Why am I not endorsing this? Why am I not giving this more attention? Why? And I have a girlfriend, Melody. She's my girlfriend now. She started out being a writing protege of mine. And I have to say, Melody, I'm getting ready to get on your ass, because I think that you need to be asking the right kind of why questions. You have enormous talent, and you have a heart of gold. And yeah, so I said that I'm going to start getting in your business even more, because I think that you can elaborate on and expand on who you are and why you're here. So all of that to say that Melody is an innate. She's naturally in tune to why. She is a true investigator. And the thing that I used to say to her is that you continue to ask humans why. Put it out to the universe. You have to begin to direct your why incentives to the heavens. Those are the ones with all of the answers. Stop looking for your answers and your validation in humans. We are humans, which means more than likely we have been structured in the equal. Some humans are wiser than others, which means if you do pose certain why questions to them, they will be able to give you some type of insight. But to tell you the truth, if we as humans was to just take on the notion that we will direct you versus tell you, see, I have been a soaker of the proverb, the mantra that says good teachers, good educators, they direct you to the information but does not tell you what to see. So I will lead you to the water, but I can't tell you to drink it. I can't tell you what it should taste like. I can't tell you all the manifestations as a result of. So start with why. That's why we are starting with why. We are starting with why because I think that we need more mentored styled minds in the urban corridors of DC. I think that the lost boys, those that I consider to be urbanites, they are rough around the edges, but they are definitely diamonds in the rough. I think that that's a demographic of our society that I don't even know what to call them, but the powers that be, those that want to just leave them for dead, those that fail to see the true value in who they are because they are rough. Those that get overlooked because they are not college or university material, because they are not white collared material. Those that are more crafters, those that lean towards more of their vocation or the arts and the crafts. It seems like society have completely deemed them worthless, and I see potential. I see potential in an untapped arena of our nation, that because you, they, us are misfits, considered misfits, that there's no value. I tell you one thing, I've been labeled a misfit all my life, and I know I have damn good value. You're going to label me a misfit because you don't know me. So, I digress. Before I get, because I'm telling you, the hood can come out. It tries to, it tries to persuade me to let it out more, but I have to say I fight hard to keep everything polished and under wraps. Alrighty, so here we go. Our next adventure in is, I said I was going to discuss. Oh, you know what? And hold up. How long have I been talking? I have now been talking 49 minutes. So guess what? I don't know if I said it in the beginning. I'm not sure. But see, now we are really getting ready to get into the last segment of the reason why I'm recording this in the first place. I have to stay with my reasons of why. So you'll hear me say that quite a bit. You will hear me say the reason why I am recording this in the first place For one, everything as far as I'm concerned and what it is that I do for my members have to be justified. I'm not doing shit just to be doing it. Okay, so the reason why. Oh, yeah. So that whole point was to say that if you are considered one of my elite, if you're considered one of my urban mentors, like I said, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it now. Pause it. It's a video. Yeah, I think I did say it. It's a video. It will be here when you get back. If you are considered one of my all-stars, then that means that you know that the video exists. You know that you're going to get some type of substance out of it. You are going to go and get your ass to the library. You're going to reserve you a study room. You're going to lay out all of your supplies and all of your learning trinkets. And you are going to, and I know they have it at the library, and I know they have it at several DC libraries, because one of my hobbies, one of my things to do is to go and visit the DC libraries. I love libraries. So I know for a fact that this particular book is at the library. So if and to tell you the truth, I know Amazon on the marketplace, they have it and you can get it for less than $9. I know that Barnes and Noble has it, and I know that the library has it. So for you to not have this book in your possession is an insult. It's an insult to the progression of your evolution. So you will go, you will reserve your study room, you'll get in there, you'll pull out your laptop, you'll put your headphones on, you will have this book in your face, and you will block out and tune out all the unnecessary shenanigans, and you will soak up what it is that you're deemed to soak up, so that you can groom those you are destined to lead. Properly, effectively groom those that you are destined to lead. Okay, so on page 15, page 17. On page 17, Coach Dungy outlined something that is called action steps. It is 10 steps. I'm going to read them. I'm going to take this moment, and I'm going to seize the opportunity, carpe diem. I'm going to seize this opportunity to tell you what you're in store for. Excuse me. Okay, so action step number 1. Evaluate your integrity. Your actions. Evaluate your integrity. So are your actions consistent with your words? Number 2, evaluate your impact. Are you making lives better? Your impact is associated with the power of your words. Your words will either tear someone down. I feel like I'm kind of snuffly. I don't feel like getting sick. I don't want to be sick. Okay, so number 2, evaluate your impact. So your words have the power to lift someone up or tear them down. And you know when your words are doing damage. So are you making lives better? Because really, to tell you the truth, you have free will to just not say nothing. You can go silent. And as a matter of fact, going silent, it is a word for it. It's a term for it. It's called solitude meditation. It means you can go voiceless if you want to. So, evaluate your impact. Number 3, evaluate your perspective. Do you see people as essential to the mission of your organization? Or do you see them simply as the means, the fuel to get your organization from here to there? And He says organization, I think, with the preface that as a mentor, you're going to have a following. You're going to have a following of mentees that rely on you for direction, or that look to you to lead by example. That's your organization. Everyone, your family, your tribe, your circles, your network is part of your organization. So, do you look at your organization, or do you see the people? Do you see the people as central to the mission of your organization? So, your mission, your personal mission to where you're going with your particular gift of life. You can't do it alone. You're going to always need people to do that. So, are they central to it, or are they just a few? Are they just a few? Because if they just a few, then that means you're using them. Versus them being central to it means they are part of the core, which means they're very valuable. You know you're grateful for their contribution to you, because you wouldn't be what you are, who you are, without them. Number 4, evaluate your goals. Are you building relationships, or are you building a tower to climb to the top? I can say, I'm not sure, I can say that number 4, I can also equate that to evaluate your motives, evaluate your intentions. Because people, for the most part, are natural at building relationships. Some build more relationships than others. Some build relationships for the superficial value of just being the man or being the woman. Others build them because they really know that they need them. Others build them for the core validation. Then those who might have a problem with building them feel some sense of self inefficiency. So, evaluate your goals, evaluate your motives, evaluate your intentions. So, number 5, mentor leaders see the opportunity to interact with people and to build into their lives along the way as part of the journey itself. So, mentor leaders see the opportunity to interact with people and to build into their lives along the way as part of the journey itself. How are you looking for ways to directly engage with and influence other people? They see the opportunity. They see the opportunity to interact with people and build into their lives as a part of their own journey. You have to look for the opportunities. As a mastermind in mentor leadership, you have to look and seek and be aware of, be on the lookout for those opportunities where you have been granted to interact with people so that you can build into their lives, not what they can do for you. And a lot of people don't even realize that a conversation is an investment. That's why I don't do small talk. Anybody who knows me personally knows I get agitated if you call me for the bullshit. My quality of conversation is all I have. I don't have a whole bunch of money. To tell you the truth, if it wasn't for my mom and my daddy, I don't know where I would be right now. I don't have no whole bunch of physical currency. The only thing I have, the only wealth I have is my words, my conversation. So, and I spend it wisely. I spend it to the point where it feels like I am actually delivering something to you. I'm giving you something. Now, whether you take it or not, that's something. That's a whole nother dynamic. That's made for a whole different conversation at a different time. But know that within my heart, when I speak to you, I always feel that I have to contribute something. I have to give you something to depart with. It's almost like you come into my house and me not feed you. There's no way that I would have my own and live the quality of life that I consider ideal. I am a cook. I love to cook. If you and unless you come to my house and we're on our way out the door, like you're meeting me at my house and we're leaving out, if you are coming to my house, understand what I'm saying now. If you come into my house, my kitchen, if you're coming to my house and I don't feed you, I'm either having an off day. Yeah, that's the only that's the only thing I can think of. I'm having an off day. I'm not me. I'm not myself. Because I seek love through my food. I love to cook. And I have cousins that are the same way. They will feed you. They might not have any money to offer you. You probably will not be able to get a loan from them, that kind of thing. We all, not all of us, but the majority of us, we kind of suck in the superficial things of the physical world. But three things for certain that I have for you. I got a lot of love for you. I will hug you up. I am very generous with my hugs. I know that the universe smiles and it does something special when the energies of human embrace. I am a hugger. 2, I will try my best to share with you the knowledge and wisdom that I have inside of me for the sake of your advancement. 3, I will feed you. I know that to have the encounter with good food is something of a priceless ordeal. So know these things about me, that if I am your host, good conversation, good love and hugs and laughter, good food. I'm real simple with it. I'm real simple with it. Okay, so number 6. How does your leadership style need to change so that people will flourish and grow? I'm not even sure that urban folk, especially black men, I don't think that black men realize that they have inside of them the element to lead. You've been, it's like your soul has been watered down with the shenanigans and the nonsense of social conditioning, that you don't realize that you have inside of you, that lies dormant, the key elements to lead. That's my job. That's why I was put on this earth. I was put on this earth to provoke and wake and inspire and encourage the elements that lie within you so that you can step up to the podium and lead your people. That's my job. So what I need you to start visualizing and playing around with your thoughts is that you do have a leadership style. You have inside of you a style that has the ability to influence and impact people to change, to shift paradigms. You have that in you. It's there. I don't care if you are the dude on the corner that feels like the only option he has is to hustle singles. I really, really, truly want you. You're the one that I really, truly want, because society says that your hustle is in vain. What I see is the character to get it done by any means necessary. That is a characteristic that you're born with, my love. That is not something that you can get in a box. It is not something that can be taught to you. University don't even teach that to you. You have good grain of hustle inside of you, which means you got it. You got it. Number 7. You can lead from a position of authority by the most effective leaders. Hold up, slow down there. You can lead from a position of authority, but the most effective leaders lead as they build relationships of influence. What you can do to move from an authority based model to an influenced based model. I think I read that wrong. That is actually a question. So we're doing number 7 again. I'm a little passionate, kind of get ahead of myself. Number 7. I'm going to slow down. Oops, slow down. You can lead from a position of authority, but the most effective leaders lead as they build relationships of influence. That right there solidifies what I just said before I read number 7, which means it doesn't matter where you are right now. You lead through your relationships. I'm telling you, I sense the diamonds in the rough, those right there on the street, they lead. They're leaders. You just not leaders in corporate America. You are just not leaders. You don't lead with a white collar and a tie. You still lead. A leader is a leader is a leader. It doesn't matter what you wear, where you come from. It doesn't even matter the realms in which you lead. It's a characteristic that you have. So then it says, what can you do to move from an authority-based model to an influence-based model? And I'm going to tell you now, the only thing that you need to do is change your perspective. Only thing you need to do is change the way you view you. That's all you need to do. And I am here to help you do that. I am here to help you switch your thoughts to thinking that it has to be an authority-based model in order for you to lead. No, it just has to be an influence-based model, which means within your relationships, if you construct and make your conversations conducive to, then you will lead. So number 8, identify one person. Just one person. Identify one person whom you can begin to mentor. And that's one of the things that we do in the 90-day mastermind mentoring program, is that we encourage you to begin to view life through the lens of a mentor. You have to be on the lookout for those opportunities where you will be mentoring. Don't look too far or too hard. The opportunity is right in front of you. At work, in your family, or with a friend. Granted, it could be a special situation outside of your everyday circles of influence. So, he's saying he was the mentor of Michael Vick. So those that he considered a special circumstance. He says, but more than likely, the person is someone with whom you already have a relationship with. Mentors don't even realize they are mentors. And when I say that, I mean that from the very simplified basis of, if you take responsibility for spending your words and your time wisely for the betterment of someone else's life, you are mentoring. Mentoring is not always this official signage of relationship or the course of education. It's just that they call you because you speak peace and direction. You're a mentor. So number 9, it says, visit the mentoring project, which is www.thementoringproject.org. Now I have to say, I went to this particular site, and it's okay. I think it's still a good resource, but for it to be, don't go looking for it to be specifically geared toward the Bravehearts and the Urbanites of DC. But it is a great place for you to be able to evolve and expand your lens with regards to mentorship. So that's number 9. So number 10 is, from your perspective, what is the difference between success and good success? And I have to say that is a good that's a good step to leave off on, to conclude with. I was talking to Chief Dixon the other day. What's today? So today is Monday. I had a conversation with him on Thursday. And no, I didn't. I had a conversation with him on Wednesday. Yeah, I had a conversation with him on Wednesday. And I was feeling a little bummed out because it felt like every conversation that I was having, it was more so me leading. And I was just like, okay, so nobody, really calls and say, Thea, how you doing? They don't want to hear what's going on with me. So the conversations always seemed a bit weighty, where they call me, they want me to listen to them and figure out what's going on with them, but nobody calls and say, Thea, how you doing? So it was a little weighty, and I had poured it all out. I'm whining and complaining and crying, and I'm like, okay, so I don't feel successful. I don't feel like what it is that I am doing is actually being contributory to what I'm setting out to do. And he had to break it down to me. He had to break it down to me and have me really evaluate what I looked at as success. So it's like, no, your success is not particularly drenched in a whole bunch of bells and whistles. And that's one thing that you will learn in this book, is that Coach Dungy tells us that as mentors, we have to be willing to be the guy behind the guy. Like, we have to be willing to lead from behind the scenes, we are the backstage leaders. We have to be willing to not get the accolades and not get the public spotlight with regards to a whole bunch of public pats on the back. 9 times out of 10, if you are a mentor the way that I am, and you give the hard conversations, 9 times out of 10, folk gonna run from you. They don't really want to talk to you. They don't want to hear what it is that you have to say. They want to hear your encouragement and your direction and your logic, but they don't particularly want to hear it when it's based on hard fact or undesirable truth. That's not. No, that's not. And I fight against evil principles and the principalities of darkness. So I am always urging folk to look beyond what it is that they can see. And that baffles people a lot, because I make it that they have to venture into the spirit realm. They have to see things from the third eye. A lot of them take resistance to even realizing that there is a third eye. That you have 3 eyes, you have 2 that you can see with. And see, for me, I have 2, 4, 5 eyes. Because it's like, I need these joys, these right here. I need them. So, for me to ask you to close your eyes and just imagine, or for me to say to consider the situation with your eyes closed. Consider the person with your eyes closed. Only hear them. Don't look at them, hear them. See, you've been socially conditioned for you to have a conversation and look somebody straight in the eyes, not realizing that that is also a distraction, because you're supposed to be listening. So for me to hear what you are saying, and for me to sit in front of you with my palms up and my eyes closed so that there are no other distractions. I don't see anything that's going on around me. The only thing that I am focusing on is the tone and the sound of your voice. So try that. Try that. Try to have that type of conversation with someone you're angry with, to just sit in front of them with your palms up, your eyes closed, and you all just talk. In a room with the door closed, no distractions, no telephones, no text messaging, no buzzing. See, folk don't know how to have an engaging conversation. And when I challenge you to step your game up and shift your paradigm to teach you how to have an engaging conversation, you run from me. It's okay. I'll be here when you get back. So that's actually how folk need to argue. I am the head of my debate team. I know from which I come from. I know where I'm aiming to go. You will not throw me off path. Your shenanigans and your wordplay, that's not for me. You have to try that with someone else. So you argue, right? And we're talking about, I'm telling you this in practice so that you can begin to shift your paradigms and change your perspective with regards to how you lead, how you mentor. So and the thing about it is, you have to be able to trust. I'm not talking about those cutthroat type of arguments where you don't want eyes, you scared to close your eye in front of somebody. No, we're talking about the types, we're talking about the relationships and the arguments with folk where we really want to get the point across. It's not to argue, it's not to hurt you, it's not to be vindictive, it is not to say something that is going to leave you cut and battered. We're talking about the ability to disagree and hear one's opposing notion. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So it's like, so check this out. It is unproductive for you to not trust me. It is unproductive for you to think that I would do anything to harm you. It is unproductive for you to think that I would steal from you. This is what I'm talking about when I say that there are opposing arguments. I don't like what you just said to me. It belittles me. You make me feel like I'm worthless. Why is that so? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those types of arguments and conversations. So that's just my little spiel on me getting you to think how you construct your conversations. Ping pong and back and forth, that's stupid. That's stupidity. There should be nothing that you have to say that much that it has to do this within a conversation. You are wasting your life. If you're going to have those types of conversations, if you're going to always want to be doing this and never doing this, you're wasting your life. Okay, so that's out of this book. The second book and I think I said something to everybody, the last video that I did, Masterclass in Gremlin Taming. On page 49, Rick Carson goes into the basics of pleasure. I need for us, my all-stars, and I will always single out my all-stars because I am not getting ready to lie. I have mentors that will call themselves mentors that fake. Okay, they're fakers everywhere. That's just the way that it goes. I am not going to necessarily say that I love you any less, but I am going to say that I know who you are. So my all-stars, and we're gonna end on this note because we're talking about an hour and 19 minutes, and I say that I will never go beyond 90 minutes. So we are approaching the 90-minute mark. So the basics of pleasure. So Rick Carson goes off to say that the 6 principles constitute a method of establishing and, when necessary, restoring one's emotional equilibrium. Even in the midst of outrageous upheaval, when practiced, they yield a strong sense of clarity, emotional self-sufficiency, and a healthy sense of detachment from circumstances. Mentors very rarely take it personally, and they understand how to detach their emotions from the circumstance. That's one of the reasons why I'm telling you, y'all, I have been sitting here. Do y'all remember these little candies, these little Christmas candies? Okay, so it's a can upstairs on the dining room table, and I got me some, and it's like, so the whole time I've been talking, I've been eyeballing these candies. I want these candy. I so want this candy, so I'm just gonna do what it do. I am not going to deny myself the pleasure because I keep eyeballing it. Okay, so able to detach themselves from the circumstance. Mentors are good with minding their own business. If a mentee or someone that they love is undergoing a situation where they cannot particularly put their mind around it, they are baffled by it, they just need to vent, 9 times out of 10, and I always tell my mentors, you make this the rule of thumb. You will allow them to vent and say what it is that they need to say for 45 minutes. You will allow them 45 minutes to get it completely off of their chest. After that, you will ask them if it's okay for you to share with them your thoughts. If you share your thoughts with them and they still feel like they want to vent on, you are not the person they need to be talking to. You also need to assure them that you are going to objectively view, which means you are not going to take sides because you don't know the entire story. You're listening with the grand notion that it is one-sided, which means you form no opinion about it. And that means if that's your kid, if it's your wife, if it is your students, if it is your homie, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You need to understand that you are getting a one-sided story and that it's going to be infused with all kinds of emotion and bias. Okay, so detach yourself from the circumstance. Especially y'all dudes with outrageous mamas who give your wives the worst life imaginable. You better check it. You better check it. Check it. I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Do not allow your mamas to make your wives a living hell. I ain't saying that you got to pick and choose. See, it's called detaching yourself from the circumstance. It means that you use your perspective to bring remedy to the situation. If you need to check your mama, you will diplomatically, you will put it out to the universe and you will ask the universe to give you some type of direction on how you can bring remedy to the situation. But don't you dare stay complacent knowing that your mama got shenanigans up her sleeve and you don't check it. All right, that was a sidebar. All right. Yeah, I had a little. Okay, so detach yourself from the circumstances. Okay, so number 1, it's saying it says make being centered and feeling good top priority. So, being centered and feeling good, they interconnect. And I have to say that really this is like, it's to my single mentors, but it's still kind of like not. It's to everybody, to tell you the truth. Now that I think about it, it's really so not gender or label or title specific. It is, if you are a human You need to understand that making it so that you are centered and you do yourself a favor to feel good. So stop putting yourself in situations and stop hanging out with people that drain you. That is family included. Just because they're having Thanksgiving and everybody's going over there does not mean you need to go. If in fact it is around folk that will drain you, belittle you, assassinate your character, run their mouths, bumping their gums about things they have no clue about. If you know that you're going to be subjected to such shenanigans, you can't come. It's not going to make you feel good. You can't come. Simple as that. You don't owe nobody no explanation. And if you start making sure that folk understand that you don't owe them no explanation, it will be a little easier for folk to accept the fact when you say, I can't make it. And it's just like that. So number 2, remember that doing so is primarily an inside job. Inward, knowing thyself. I will always make sure that all of my mentors know that I teach from a place of knowing thyself. You are the image of your divine creator, which means your encoded language of love lies within. You have to go inward. You have to be able to close your eyes, your 2 physical eyes, 4 physical eyes, so that the third eye that is within, you leave it no other choice but to activate so that you can figure out what's being said to you in the spiritual realm, in the invisible world, in the unseen world. To do so is primarily an inside job. To do so meaning being centered and feeling good is an inside job, because if your heart tells you that if you show up or if you hang with these people, by the time it's all said and done with, you're going to feel like crap, that's not feeling good. That's not feeling good. So don't do it. Learn how to say no. Number 3, notice where you end and where all else begins. The miraculous sheath known as your skin. So that means that your soul, the core you, is encased in a sheath called your skin. A sheath called your skin. It's miraculous. It does not need to be subjected to all kinds of harm. Number 4, breathe, damn it, breathe. And I laugh at number 4 all the time because I always have to remind myself to breathe. Because when I am stressed, I am just... And it's like, if you don't breathe, you're going to kill yourself. So, and then also realizing that there's a certain level and a certain pace that you can monitor the way that you breathe that is actually considered meditative. It paces the heart rate. It allows the heart to slow down. It allows the what can I say, the mental avenues of the brain, the thought flow to slow down. It allows for you to be able to take account of where you are and who you are and what you're doing and why you are. Okay, so number 5, relax your pact to keep your act intact. I love it. Relax your pact to keep your act intact, which means everything is not so damn serious, and it is not all about you, nor does it revolve around you. And as long as you relax your pact, it will keep your act intact. Which means you won't be the loose cannon, the ticking time bomb. You will not be explosive. You will not be the one that gets out in public and act a fucking ass. Yeah, I said it. I ain't scared. Yeah, I said it. Number 6, establish the here and now as your home base from which you consciously direct your spotlight of awareness, which is the whole bit on being mindful. You have to stay mindful of where you are, who you are, and why you are. The here and now means you're not thinking about someone else that's not there. You know, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. Yeah, none of that. To be in the here and now, which brings me back to my point when I say, don't be with folk that you really don't want to be with, because then that means you're not fully in the moment. You're not fully engaged in the here and now. Don't sit on the phone and waste your time on conversations that belittle you or meaningless to you. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to hold a conversation with anybody. Which means if you know that the conversation is not going to do you some kind of good. Now, I'm not talking about duck and wreck. I am not talking about you need to have a conversation with somebody that's going to reveal some hard truth and you ducking that. No, I am talking about the belittling. I'm not talking about the critique. I'm not talking about the constructive feedback. I am talking about the belittling. You ain't shit. You do not deserve that. Because you are. You are way more than that. Because they seem to think that you ain't shit does not make it, it doesn't mandate you. Cut that out. Cut it out, being subjected to all that belittling, you know, all of that rigmarole that have you second guessing who you are, especially those that figure like they want to question your ability to lead. If you know within yourself you need to beef up and solidify and strengthen your element to lead, make sure you tune in. Make sure you go and study where I direct you. And I guarantee you, your element of leadership is going to strengthen itself. It's just lying dormant right now. So for someone to see that and notice that there is a shortcoming and want to berate you as a result of it, you better check that. You better check it. You better check it like immediately. Okay, so that is, I actually still ran over. We're at 92 minutes. So I'm going to end it there, here in the here and now. I'm going to end it. I know I had so many other things that I wanted to say. I am going to be appreciative. I'm going to be appreciative of the opportunity and the words that I was able to exchange and land, and tell you that I'm looking forward to the next video segment. I will always have a wealth of knowledge. I'm telling you, I have all kinds of stuff that is just like piled high. Anybody who knows me personally and have been down in the den, they know that it's serious down here. It's all kinds of stuff just waiting to be shared. So I am going to keep them coming. I'm hoping that, like I said many times before, that if it's for you, that you get it, that you take charge and you take what's yours. You know in your heart if you were meant to lead. You know in your heart if you were meant to mentor. You know these things. They say that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I appear before you. Take what it is that I have to offer you, because I don't have all that extra superficial physical shit. I don't have all that, but what I do have, I am willing to share. So take advantage of what it is that I give you. Use me. You know, a lot of people are not willing to say that. Use and take what it is that I have. Take it. It's in abundance. Take it and do something with it. And if you want to take it in bullshit, then karma is coming for you. But if you really truly feel that you're going to take it and you're going to use it and you're going to multiply it for the deems of the greater good, I and with you. The heavens smile upon you. So, with that said, I am going to end it here. You know, my new word, I am going to say namaste, knowing that I bow to the divine in you. And hopefully, we will meet again soon.